Good afternoon. It is September 2nd, 2010, and I have moved back into my dorm. This is why you can see that it's a different looking background. And I have just recently seen Hank Green's video, Punishment, on the Nerd Fighters channel, and he did Exercising for Nerds. Well, as a way to sympathize with his pain, I'm going to do a geek exercise program. Okay, first I want you to do your victory pose for whenever you beat some nudes on Xbox Live. Ready? And pwn. Pwn. Okay, I think I'm not going to do a sympathy video for Hank Green. I just look far too ridiculous. Instead, I think what I'm going to do today is, well, first, I have recently started working on a game that I started working on about 2-3 years ago. Reason why I stopped working on it was because it became overcomplicated. So I think what I'm going to do for this video is 5 things that let you know when your game sucks. First of all, when I say your game sucks, nobody's game really sucks. It just needs to go back to the drawing board a little bit. Because the great thing about games, if you get through it and you realize that something's not right, you can always go back and fix it later, whether it be another edition, a new edition, or you're in the process and you just need to go back anyway. Number 1. The first and foremost thing to lets anyone know that their game is not doing well is when you look at the game and not even you understand it anymore. This is the biggest issue that I had with the game that I'm working on now. It got so overcomplicated that it got to a point for me where I was building rule on top of rule on top of rule to fix each and every little problem that another rule would have. It got to the point where it got so complicated I could not work on it anymore because I had pretty much written myself into a corner, so to speak. Number 2. This one's a little bit harder to pick up when you are working on a game, and I find that I had this issue when I was working on my first game, which is the game that I was working on, that I'm working on now, and that is preachiness. Some people, I can understand when you are working on a game, it is really awesome and you get really excited about that. But the thing that you need to worry about the most is to come across as preachy, to let that passion get so much of the best of you that it begins to change the way you're writing the game. You no longer are trying to create a fun game that everybody will enjoy. It's beginning to come across as more of a manifesto. Number 3, and I've missed this camera angle. This one's relatively a given. Basically, when you look at your game, and even you can't stand the idea of playing it. Number 4. This one seems a rather easy answer, but some people may actually not realize this. Listen to your playtesters. If they do not like the game, it is likely that the game does need improvement. Don't just write it off as, you know, they don't know what they're talking about. Number 5. Personally for me, the biggest sign for me that lets me know that the game's just not working the way it's supposed to be is when the game no longer feels fun, or making the game no longer feels fun. You feel that the passion that you had for the game has been sucked out of you. To me, that feels like a good sign that it's time to go back, recheck what you're doing, and possibly changing or fixing some things. Okay, those are my 5. I think, for me, that's my personal opinion, the 5 things that let you know when your game sucks. First of all, no hate mail, please. Today I really couldn't think of anything to do, so I just did this discussion for the video. But please feel free to comment or engage me on what you think I may have done right or wrong. And I will see you guys next Thursday, and this has been Whale of Fish.